Welcome back to Cheese La Vida, the internet's biggest DC fanboys. Nathaniel, why were you gonna go under on the billion?
I don't know.
Because, Aquaman, first DCEU movie to gross $1 billion.
Listen, so if you go back to what I said $1 billion in that original podcast, but then I backtracked and I'm like, you know what, it's probably gonna be around 8. And then after seeing it hit $900,000 or $900 million, I knew instantly. I'm like, this is making $1 billion. Everyone was like, it's not even gonna hit the $300 million threshold. I'm like, bro. Like, so even if it only hit $500 million, first off, it made its money back because it only, surprisingly, this movie didn't cost a lot to make.
Well, I mean, as much as like Batman v Superman or anything like that. I think it costed $200 million or so, and that's about par for the course, honestly, for these big blockbuster superhero films. Because I mean, Justice League's budget was like $300 million, and we're not even accounting for reshoots or marketing or any of that stuff. Just $300 million budget. This says not available, but I believe it's $200 million. But
budget was $160 to $200.
Probably 200. Yeah. Probably closer to 200.
And it's grossed That's just a hell of a number. $1.22 billion.
It's pretty fucking impressive. So, Box Office Mojo's telling me it's still at $1,063,436,000. Yeah.
So the movie made its money back, paid all its actors. Definitely a good call on his part. What do you want to do? You want to do Flash or Aquaman? Are you sure? Yeah. Oh yeah.
I told you.
Visually, I find it disgusting, first off, that this movie wasn't even nominated.
Well, I think it's past the cutoff point.
No, before it wasn't.
You're right, it's not. It had to be. That's why that's why they always release movies at the end of the year, so that they can make the cutoff date.
I thought that was fucking absolutely disgusting.
For the Oscars?
No, I believe so.
It didn't get anything from the Oscars?
It didn't get nominated for Best Visual Effects, which it should have been.
Or cinematography, anything like that?
Not that I know of. Black Panther did. Up
because Suicide Squad is an Oscar-winning movie for its makeup design.
No.
How fucking funny is that? That arguably the worst... I think it's the worst DCEU movie. Others would say Justice League, but... Yeah. Suicide Squad's a flaming pile of shit. In any case, it is an Oscar award-winning film. That doesn't even sound right saying that.
Yeah.
And it still has grossed more domestically than Aquaman. And now, that's kind of what I want to talk about in the fallout of Aquaman. Because it's definitely a changing of the guard right now. They're going with a much more, jokey tone that the overseas crowds, they love. They eat that stuff up. That's why Avengers grossed what it did, because of the overseas market. Because Marvel knows how to make jokes and lighten the mood. Those foreign audiences don't want the Zack Snyder dark universe. They want a light, fun atmosphere. That's, like the Hong Kong martial arts films. There's a whole lot of bullshit going on in those movies, but they're fun as fuck.
Right.
So it makes me wonder what exactly Warner Brothers is going to do, because that's clearly what they want to do with Shazam, and I think that movie's going to be terrible.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't. I'm hopeful for Shazam. I'm really hopeful, and I'm so conflicted. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are holding the reins right now. They're holding.
Isn't that kind of fucked up?
Yeah, because it should be Batman
and Superman.
Yeah, but Superman flopped. Even though
did Man of Steel flop though?
For the character, yeah. I don't think Henry Cavill or Cavill or whatever the fuck his name is. I have no respect for him right now. And I probably won't at all, ever, anymore. It shouldn't have been him. He wasn't the right choice, man. It shouldn't have been him.
I would agree he has the look.
No.
He certainly looks like Superman.
Okay.
You would rather have Michael B. Jordan?
Honestly, yeah. I don't care that he looks like Superman.
Home Slice said the same thing. I don't give a fuck if Michael B. Jordan is Superman. He carries most of the films he's in.
Yeah.
That's word for word what he said last night. I think that's funny.
Yeah, I really
we were
don't...
getting shit-faced at the bar.
The looks don't really matter as much. I mean, it's a good thing when you have an actor who looks and portrays a character very well, but he wasn't it. Honestly, it wasn't.
Do you think now that Aquaman's hit the billion mark, I mean, you've already kind of said that he's going to be the spearhead and the leader of this whole DCEU. Do you think this really just cements it, though? Because we got Wonder Woman 1984 coming out next year. I thought it was coming out in 2019. Apparently, it got pushed back, though.
Yeah,
I know I've been
a good sign.
Telling our listeners that, it's coming out this year.
Well, they're pushing it back because they probably didn't expect Aquaman to hit $1 billion. So they're probably going to work in a cameo or some stupid shit. That's probably what they're doing.
Do you think that they should do that?
No.
Not at all.
No, this is an origin story.
Aquaman?
No, Wonder Woman.
But she already had her origin film.
Yeah,
that was the first Wonder Woman.
So what year does the next one take? 84?
Yeah, it's a... Shit, if the last movie took place in 1918, 1917, that's like
World War II.
60...
Or World War I.
7-year gap in between films or whatever.
Okay, so this one takes place in Wonder Woman 84. How is that not an origin story?
Because she already got her origin story.
Okay,
we saw her become Wonder Woman. We're still
a part of her past, still learning about her.
You think it's a continuation of her origin?
Yes.
Okay, so is that why you're...
We've seen Wonder Woman, twice in the present, play Wonder Woman, right?
Justice League and BVS at the end with Doomsday, which didn't need to be in that film.
Yeah, so I think Jason right now is the way to go. Wonder Woman,
but he doesn't need to be in other movies. He needs to be the sole focus. He needs to be the Superman for all intents and purposes.
They are the best chance they have right now. Wonder Woman, once she has her own movie placed in present day timeline, then she'll join up the pack and leading the front line. So we got Jason right now. Don't get me wrong, Wonder Woman's a phenomenal movie. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'm down on the third act, but I do really enjoy that film.
So, right. Yeah,
the fight with Ares was pretty fucking lame. Yeah, they needed to just end it at the... We're all to blame. I'm not. But maybe I am.
Right.
I mean, that was fucking beautiful. And then the sacrifice, all that shit is great. And then they're probably about to ruin it because I know for sure he's coming back unless she's just having like hallucinations of him.
I hope to God Ares isn't coming back.
No, Steve Trevor. There's pictures of Chris Pine on set of Wonder Woman 84. I don't know if it's like
he's in that time frame clothing. They're probably bringing him back.
That's bullshit. It's been 67 years or so since the first Wonder Woman. How the fuck is he still in his mid to late 20s?
So
I'm assuming that's how
in my
supposed
opinion,
to
the DC universe is very, very close and based off of the Greek mythology religion.
Incredibly.
Yeah. So
well, that's
even Superman, Batman,
where those old Jewish comic book writers got a lot of inspiration from.
Yeah, was Greek mythology. So if we sit back and let's say he does come back, maybe her vanity got in the way. Maybe we get to see Wonder Woman as having human tendencies, and her vanity got in the way.
What do you mean by human tendencies? Because the whole point of
normal
Wonder
people.
Woman was learning compassion and fighting for people.
She grew up around Amazonian women. She grew up in a different world, essentially. So she knows of those ways. So when she gets out into reality with not meta-humans or normal humans, I guess you could say, she starts to learn everything. Like you said, compassion and stuff, and love for the human race and shit. But what if she starts to get envious, revenge? She starts to get vanity. She wants things. Because that's even been shown in video games about her. So what if she's like found a way to bring him back, and she's going to do everything she can to bring her love back.
And then she realizes it's not the right thing to do or something like that?
Could.
That would be nice.
We don't know how Patty Jenkins is going to do this.
If they do that, I would be okay with that.
They got to do it right, though. And if they just bring him back like, they don't explain how he survived a 3-ton, megaton explosion, then I would definitely say that she fucked up and she got nervous.
Oh yeah, if they just bring back Steve Trevor, no explanation, or if they even bring him back and it's a bad explanation,
Patty,
yeah, they fucked up.
They got
somewhere.
a lot of weight on their heads. They are literally, so they're playing
She was
Russian
their
roulette
only
with,
light for a moment, man.
Yeah.
Until Aquaman joined the fight.
Right.
Let me get back to the domestic box office though, because that's what we were shitting on Suicide Squad for briefly. But that movie made $325 million domestically.
Right.
Worldwide, it made $746 million. Up until Aquaman, that was the third highest grossing movie in the DCEU.
Maybe.
I think these domestic box offices are pretty interesting, honestly, because
I've seen DC does a lot better out of the country than it does in the country.
definitely. I mean, so look at this: Batman v Superman, domestically $330 million, worldwide $873. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are they going for now? Because Zack Snyder's vision, Man of Steel made $668 million worldwide, $291 million domestically. Aquaman just passed that to become the fourth highest domestically grossing movie. I don't know if it's going to catch Suicide Squad, but it's still somehow worldwide the highest grossing DCEU movie. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
I don't know.
Who are they trying to appeal to? Because Zack Snyder definitely was appealing to more American tastes, I would say.
Oh, he's born bred American. He's as American as apple pie.
So I can understand why his films wouldn't do as great worldwide.
Right.
I mean, almost half of the box office for Man of Steel came from the U.S. So now it's like almost the complete opposite. And Wonder Woman did numbers here, but not that much everywhere else either.
I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if they really know what they're doing. I feel like they're in a transitioning moment right now, and they're trying to get their ducks in a row. I do think Aquaman and Wonder Woman are taking the lead, and as soon as Shazam comes out, I hope to God that the level of acting skills and directing skills that these people have are going to guide this movie in a good direction. There's a lot of big names in that fucking movie, dude.
Who are the big actors? Who's like Zachary Levi, Captain Marvel, Shazam? I've never heard of him.
No, not him. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about fucking... God, I can't remember his name. Because it's not Black Adam, but he has the powers of Shazam, I guess you could say. He's been acting for a long time. Great British actor.
Doesn't the director concern you, though? David Sandberg? Do you even know who that is?
No.
Because I'm going to tell you his two movies. Lights Out and Annabelle Creation.
Annabelle Creation was a decent movie.
You thought so?
Yeah.
I thought that movie was a piece of shit.
It was a decent movie. I didn't say it was a great movie there. I said it was a decent movie.
I'm not sure who's the writer on this, but I can take a look at that. But yeah, Shazam comes out in 3 months, April 5th. I mean, what are you expecting, honestly, based off the trailer?
I'm expecting a light-hearted Deadpool.
We kind of already talked about it.
Shazam is...
I don't know, man.
Shazam is DC's answer.
I don't know this writer, so...
Shazam is going to be the comedic sense like Deadpool is to Marvel.
I don't think that's going to work.
They probably won't.
They're trying, and I mean, I saw the New Line Cinema logo, so I know...
This movie should have been rated R.
They're going to try to make it goofy and appeal to kids. I mean, that's definitely what the trailer is trying to get across.
This movie should have been rated R.
Why?
I'll explain. So, Shazam, his stepbrother in the movie, played in the movie It. So he's not shy to rated R movie. He's not shy to that kind of reality. If they would have made this movie rated R, it would have put so much more pressure on Billy Batson's character to think like an adult, and this isn't a fucking game. You're a superhero. There's things in this world that will kill you and the people of this planet. This should have been DC's first rated R movie.
Well, James Wan and his boys are seemingly in charge now because they got rid of Jeff Johns and all the other people in charge of Warner Brothers. The suits.
Yeah, the people.
Jeff Johns wasn't a suit. He was a comic book writer. He actually does tremendous work. I have a few stories he's written. Blackest Night is phenomenal. But, from what I've seen in what he was trying to do to Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder is he was rewriting a lot of Batman v Superman and Justice League while they were trying to get their own movie the way they wanted it, because he didn't like it. And then once the audience said they didn't like it, he felt even more inclined to be like, we should give them what they want. And that's led to a big power struggle, and now everybody's gone. They just basically cleaned house and said, hey, guy who made Saw, you want to give this a shot? And he shocked him. He said, yeah, sure.
I don't, they have such a clusterfuck of shit to clean up.
This is Mario Sunshine.
Spider web. This is on another level. They're all over the fucking place. They're doing origin stories, single movies. They're fucking shit up. And
team ups out of nowhere.
Yeah, and they can't
like,
even
why
keep
did they
their
make
actors.
a Suicide Squad movie?
They shouldn't have done that. They should have fucking waited, and then they should have fucking did Shazam.
You thought they should have did Shazam like right away?
They should have done Shazam right away, and then they should have done the fucking Suicide Squad and have Adam Warlock be the enemy, but not show up to the end.
Not Adam Warlock, that's Marvel.
Or not Adam Warlock, fucking Black Adam. And introduce Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson into the DC.
So you did like the idea of him showing up in Suicide Squad too.
It should have.
But you don't want him to be the villain? Because I
don't want him to be the villain.
I said that was a bad idea to have him be the main villain of Suicide Squad.
He needed to show up in like a at the end, in like the end credits.
Like a surprise.
Exactly.
I got you. Here's
and
my
it
question.
And how it should have been is how they introduced Thanos. It should have been him coming out of something and just instantly, he's in his full Black Adam outfit, he's in full makeup, and all you see is you're panning in on him, right? And then he just kind of turns and looks at the screen.
He does that
side face,
shit.
the side face. Bro, that would have blown me the fuck away.
Should he have done the eyebrow raise too?
I thought that would have made it too funny.
Yeah.
If he just turned and he can have a serious face.
So let me ask you this question.
Those sideways grins with the sharp face, yeah.
Should the Joker movie be a part of the DCEU? Because at first
it
seemingly wasn't. But according to Box Office Mojo that I'm looking at, now they could just be lumping in all DC related movies, because as far as we know, it's the only DC related movie getting made that isn't a DCEU film. So according to this though, it's a part of the DCEU.
Forget Suicide Squad. Besides a few key characters, Will Smith can stay as Deadshot. I like that. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought he did too. A lot of people gave him a lot of shit, but
no, I think he did a wonderful job.
I thought he did pretty good.
Harley Quinn, she's Harleen Quinn.
Well, apparently we're getting a Birds of Prey movie, so apparently
I'm not really excited about it
a lot.
But I'm happy that she's reprising her role as Harley Quinn. That is her role now, unfortunately.
That's supposed to come after this Joker movie, though. So
here's the thing. Now, if they do Birds of Prey, right?
Yeah.
So they got the Joker movie coming out. I'll say it again like I said it before. Keep Ben Affleck as Batman. He's done the best Batman I've seen since Michael Keaton, okay? Now let's set that aside. Shazam needs to do good. Once Shazam does good, okay, we could bring them together. We'll find our Superman later down the line.
Bring who together?
The team. Right?
I'm a little confused by how you're
Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Shazam.
Well, I'd hate to be that guy, but we gotta assume that Ben Affleck's gone. We don't have a Batman.
Let's just assume. But that's how I need it. Superman can come later because Superman is the butter. Everyone else is the bread. Superman's the butter.
How does this relate to the Joker, though?
I'll explain. You start getting into the Flash's story. We don't need an origin story. We need the Flash.
I agree.
So Flash.
I said, the script I wrote is not really an origin story.
No. I need the sonic treadmill.
Yeah. We fucking need the sonic treadmill.
I want him to build it. I want it to be subtle hints that it's being built in the workshop and shit. I don't want to know he's building it until the end, until he tests it. And then when he tests it, he's going to shoot back in time and talk to Batman. That's going to connect the Batman versus Superman movie.
We're way past that.
I understand, but this is my idea. It would connect those two stories and bring it all together.
Well, that was what I kind of suggested, too.
Then you can introduce the Joker. But the Joker's brought from an alternate timeline.
And that's what I was saying on one of the first DC things we did.
It's been done before in comics.
It's absolutely been done.
There's, alternate versions of all the characters.
Sense, man. Like,
it's the only way they could fix this. There's no other way to fix it. You need the Flash because he has to go back in time. Or you could have a Flash movie and everything's so fucked up because he keeps going back in time.
That they have no respect for the Flash. Where the fuck is the Barry Allen love, bro? He's so important to DC, and like these writers just honestly always forget about him.
You know what would be clever for them to do? They could make the Flash movie, and the reason why everything's been so fucked up, this would be a fourth wall breaking for us to realize, because he's already been fucking with the timeline.
Yeah,
that's why everything's
There's so much you can do with the Flash, man.
But you gotta be careful, because you could sneeze wrong, bro, and you're fucking up the universe.
Well, that's like his power in a nutshell.
Yeah, they definitely need to bring the Joker into this universe, and I really, truly believe that Joaquin Phoenix and fucking Margot Robbie, I'm telling you right now, that is the Joker and Harley Quinn. That right there, that will be the most devastating, not in a bad way, but the most savage is a better word, on-screen portrayal of their relationship, because Joaquin Phoenix in real life is a piece of shit, and his attitude definitely, and you've seen in movies like Her, he's got love for his female characters, right? You could see that. You saw it in fucking Walk the Line.
Honestly,
Johnny Cash.
he did it in Signs.
Yeah, so we're here, he's got the love for women, but he's also got that asshole quality that makes it perfect for him and Harley Quinn to get together. And Margot Robbie's got that kind of like, I'll cut you, but at the same time, can I have a kiss? Kind of attitude too, and I think they'll work out really well. I really want to see them because
I want to see him treat her like shit.
Yeah.
Because that's what it really is. They tried to do that in Suicide Squad, and they failed miserably.
Well, Suicide Squad was going to be rated R. The mother is against most, or whatever the fuck it is, you stupid old white women who don't get their way, so they ruin it for everybody, is essentially what that is.
Is this Joker movie going to be good?
Fuck yeah, it's going to be good.
How good, though? Like,
I'm going to tell you right now.
Is he going to replace Jared Leto? Like, what are they doing?
What
is the plan on that? Because I know for sure they're not going to do what we think they should do and do the alternate timeline. This Joker came in and either erased him, like, with a lead bullet to the head, or erased him because he entered the universe and now it's imbalanced and we can't have two Jokers, so see you, Jared Leto.
Right. No,
I don't think they're going to do any of that, though.
If Heath Ledger was still alive, he definitely would still be playing the Joker.
Dude, if Heath Ledger was still alive, fucking Warner Brothers probably would have asked him to sign a lifetime contract to exclusively play the Joker.
We wouldn't even have to worry about Jared Leto,
we probably would have a real life Joker, and they would have to get rid of the contract because he would go fucking crazy and start actually committing crimes.
Right.
Like, that's probably what would have happened if Heath Ledger was still alive. God rest his soul.
Right. It's hard to say. Jared Leto blew his shot. And Joaquin Phoenix, I have a really good feeling that he's going to carry the torch for Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger.
What are they going to do with Jared Leto?
Fuck him.
How do you explain that, though? We just don't? Here's a new Joker? Is that what they're going to do with Batman and Superman?
I hope to God not. If Ben Affleck did a bad job, then I wouldn't care. Superman? I don't care. Ben Affleck, I do not want him to get replaced.
So if we get a new Superman, you don't think they're going to explain why he looks different? They're just going to roll with it?
Yeah.
Like it's just a straight up recast?
If the movie's good.
Like fucking Dumbledore and Harry Potter? We just, hey, got a new actor. We're not going to say anything. It's the same guy.
Yeah, if the movie's good and the character portrays the real character from the comics and conveys it in such a way to where we can't see him as anything else, then I don't care. Because they've done that with multiple people. Dumbledore, you do your prime example. That guy died from cancer. And then they found this guy, and next thing you know, he's Dumbledore until they killed him.
R.I.P.
So, I'm conflicted. I really wanted Jared Leto to do good. I kind of thought he was going to have this this gangster kind of style of Joker to him, kind of like an old school Joker mixed with a little new school. And I kind of fucked with that at first, and then I heard his laugh, and I was like,
It's terrible.
I wasn't with it, man. I was with the style. I was with the tattoos.
Sweet talking me.
There was some things in there that really got me, that made me feel like he was the Joker. But Jared Leto is a good method actor, only for certain movies. But this was just not it. You know what I mean? Heath Ledger, you could tell with Jared Leto when he was doing an interview. He didn't put as much energy into it as Heath Ledger did. You look up any Heath Ledger interview when he was doing the Batman movies, you could see that he's talking to the people, and he's like, you know, you could see him moving his tongue in his mouth and still doing the...
I know what you're talking about. I've seen those interviews.
They changed him. That role changed him. He didn't have an accidental overdose. He killed himself.
It's very...
He was afraid of what he was going to do. He was going to kill himself.
I don't even know what the word is, because it's like weird, sad.
The Joker started taking over Heath Ledger. It took his personality over.
Yeah, it's fucked up, because watching the interviews, you would think he's just staying in character, trying to get ready for the role, but then once you know what happened to him, how much he wasn't sleeping, all the notes he was writing down, it really does seem like it took everything out of him to do that.
Yeah,
and I do mean everything.
I personally, this is just a personal opinion, so I don't mean to upset anyone if I do. He didn't accidentally overdose. He killed himself, just straight out. That's how it happened. I think he got too deep into it, and he got afraid of what he would do, so he saved the world from himself. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I don't want to be the guy who gets into hyperbole territory with, oh, this movie changed him, this movie fucked his life up. Because, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's a job, it's a role that he had to take. But in this case, it just seems like that's what happened, and that's a fucking shame.
He didn't really do any movies like that before this one, though.
No, absolutely not.
He's played the fun, lovable guy.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen A Knight's Tale.
And he's a nice guy.
He was
the first movie he did like this.
The protagonist, the knight, who was on the quest to save a princess or whatever. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Liechtenstein.
It was a borderline comedy.
Yeah.
He was a heartthrob. He did Not Another Teen Movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was not the big action star. That's why everyone was like, Heath Ledger's going to play the Joker, the dude from Brokeback Mountain? Get the fuck out of here. And then everyone was wrong.
But either way, I think Joaquin... I saw the still frame, or transition frame of the Joker smiling and then not smiling, and instantly I knew. I'm like, this is
and the test screen?
This is going to be the toughest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Or screen test?
Yeah. This is going to be a tough movie.
Is Joaquin Phoenix going to end up killing himself?
No, absolutely not. Joaquin Phoenix has gone through so much shit. He's become a rapper. He was a coke addict. He got himself clean, relapsed, did Her clean, did another movie. Absolutely not. This is his redemption story. This is what's going to bring Joaquin Phoenix back to the screen.
This is what he was looking for, though. He's been trying to do a low-scale superhero origin thing for like 3 years now.
Yeah, no one...
He's been seeking out something like this.
He lost his shit right before he did Her, bro. For like 3 years. He tried to become a rapper. Diddy fucking hoed his life. His best friend shit on his face. There's a whole movie on Netflix about this.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What's it called?
I forgot what it was called.
Oh well.
Either way, but Joaquin Phoenix was going on. He had no money. And he was doing coke.
Shit, he looks like he still has no money in the fucking test screening.
Oh, he does.
Screen test. Why do I keep saying it back?
He does, but he got himself better. He saw what he was doing to himself, and he saw what he was. And he knew he was an actor.
And he's going to use that in this Joker movie?
Absolutely.
When they introduce Joker, and if they do make it part of the DCEU, is this not going to fuck everything up? I know you're very hopeful about this and wanting everything to line up, but doesn't this just seem like they're throwing shit at the wall? Because like I said, they got Birds of Prey coming February of 2020.
Maybe this would be a good idea for them to do Birds of Prey.
And then from here, it says they got 2 untitled DC films in April and June of 2020, and then Wonder Woman in June. I don't think we're going to get 2 movies between Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman.
No, it's
and
not
honestly, it says the untitled Birds of Prey project, and there's no poster. They have a director announced and an actor, and that's it. I don't think this movie's coming by 2020.
No, probably not. I think Joaquin Phoenix is going to be... I think he's going to be it.
You think he's going to be a spearhead of this?
He's going to be the last Joker.
The last Joker?
He's going to be
come on, this civilization's going to be around long after we're gone. You really think that he's going to be the last Joker?
Yeah.
We're never getting another Joker. Once he dies, that's it. No more Joker in cinema?
Yep.
That's not... Come on, dude. That's not going to happen. That's not realistic.
Is it?
Joker's like one of the most marketable, well-known comic book characters ever.
If Joaquin Phoenix does what I think he's going to do, this is going to be the last Joker.
I thought that about Heath Ledger. I honestly said it was
if they kill Iron Man,
that they allowed fucking Jared Leto to follow up Heath Ledger.
No, it was disrespectful. Example, if Iron Man dies, or when he dies, no one's going to reprise him.
No one should.
No one can.
I mean, at this point, Robert Downey Jr. just is Tony Stark.
Exactly, and that's why I think...
Tony Stank?
That's why I think Joaquin Phoenix is going to do the Joker.
R.I.P.
Because it should have been Jared Leto, or I'm sorry, it should have been Heath Ledger, and that would have been the last Joker we ever saw was Heath Ledger. If he still lived. But he got too deep, and he killed himself. We would have never seen another Joker since Heath Ledger. Because he would have done that role until he couldn't have done it anymore. And that would have been it. No one would have wanted to follow that up. My father...
That's absolutely genius, because you don't even know what the fuck his backstory is. He changes it every time.
Exactly, you don't know.
And then...
He's a liar.
And then when he's in the jail cell, no name, no dental records, nothing in his pockets but knives and lint.
Congratulations, Commissioner Gordon.
You know,
ad-libbed.
I really thought you were, Dent. The way you threw yourself after her. He's so good. And then we got that fucking watered down bullshit. Are you not worried the DCEU is going to take a watered down approach to appeal to the lowest common denominator and really bank that
for Joaquin
overseas market? I honestly don't think they're going to do that for the Joker movie. I just think
wouldn't have taken the role.
I'm just asking DCEU overall. Is that the approach they're going to go? Because that's kind of what James Wan did with Aquaman, to be honest.
Some of them.
And that's why it really did so well, because I was shocked that it made that much money. My projection was $625 million. It's far surpassed that.
Yeah.
In the first 2 weeks.
If Shazam does bad, I'll pretty much lose all hope for any more continuating stories. They'll have single stories and single movies if they fuck up Shazam. That's just a fact.
So
if Shazam...
I know you kind of been saying this.
Let me predict it now. I'm going to spitball and say Shazam. What's Shazam have for their budget?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say? I'm going to spitball right now.
I'm going to guess it's not $200 million. It looks probably closer to the 100 to 150 million range.
650 million on a low number. On a high number, I'm going to say 850 million.
Okay. So you think it'll do what Man of Steel did?
I'm going to say around 6 to 8.
Because Man of Steel made
it's nowhere making $1 billion. It's nowhere making that.
Not going to happen.
It's not happening.
Absolutely not.
If it makes $1 billion, I'll drink a cup of my own piss.
Rainy's peach tea.
Yeah, that's how sure I am that it's not making $1 billion. I'll drink a cup of my own piss. After not drinking water for a day. Or I'm optimistic but doubtful.
Now, like I was saying, you've said ad nauseum that Shazam needs to do well if they're going to do the team-ups.
Yeah, if it doesn't do well, they might as well
does not do well, they can't do any more crossovers. It's just done.
It's pointless. They should
now,
just
why is that?
Because how are you going to...
Aquaman and Wonder Woman still did well.
They did Justice League first. Or they essentially did Justice League first before anything. Justice League should have been like what Infinity War is to Marvel. It should have been like 15 fucking movies away.
Yeah, not the first Avengers.
No.
It should have been Infinity War.
Yeah, we should have waited 10 years for them to come to a hall and make the Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
And it should have been under construction. while they walk into it. So if Shazam does bad, I have no hope for them ever teaming up.
Now, if Shazam does well and it does what you're expecting, then what do you think happens?
Then
because they're kind of changing all this shit on the fly.
If James Wan is fucking smart enough, he needs to tell his people to do whatever he could do to keep Ben Affleck as Batman. You can have one change of actor without people getting too upset. Sometimes you can have two. But if you have 3, 4, 5, you're done, dude. There's no point of even trying.
Well, we've only gone through one actor.
We're going through 2 right now. We got one more movie, and it's the Batman movie.
I don't think they're doing the Batman movie anymore.
They are. They're doing it. He got out of rehab and he beefed up. They're doing it.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago, bro.
No, this just happened recently.
They canceled the Batman project, right? Like, I'm not talking out of my ass when I say I mean I don't think they're doing it. Like, I truly don't think that they're gonna come back and make a Batman movie at this point.
DCU is done if Shazam doesn't work. I'm calling it now.
Like, I know for sure they canceled the Batman movie. Just don't think they're gonna go back and make another one.
Then there's absolutely no. They destroyed the 2 best chances, the 2 best characters that hold DC up.
Well, they probably think they don't need to make a Batman movie because they've already made so many. I think that's fucking stupid. If you didn't want Ben Affleck to write, direct, produce, and star in the film, then why the fuck did you get rid of Matt Reeves? Like, I know apparently Matt Reeves and Ben Affleck clashed over the Batman because they had 2 different visions for it, but Warner Brothers has a lot of money. Oh, you guys are having problems? Here's some money. I mean, it's fucking baffling to me that they want to be this filmmaker-driven thing as opposed to the corporate mandate that Marvel's doing, and now they fucked themselves over so bad with that approach because they just didn't want to stick to it. They should have just let Zack Snyder do Man of Steel 2. And everything probably would have been fine.
Right. I really want the DC universe to do good. I really want it to do what Marvel did to...
Almost everyone does. All these people...
Disney, for what Disney did to
worldwide know about these heroes.
And, Marvel, I'm going to be watching this shit until I'm 40, 50 years old. My kids, at some point, they're probably going to stop doing Marvel movies. At some point.
I'm trying to imagine a world without the MCU now, and it feels awfully hollow.
That's why DC Universe has been around for generations.
Several.
Generations. Decades.
I mean, shit, it's almost a century at this point.
Yeah. So I'm at the point where it's like, I want my kids to watch these movies.
We will have 100 years of Superman.
Yeah, that's a long-ass time. I want my kids to look up to DC like I looked up to Marvel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Waiting 10 years to, going through 2 different, actors for Thanos, and then finally getting to fucking see this man in its might. I want that for DC. I want it all. But if Shazam does bad, it's fucked. There's no point of even making movies connect anymore. They might as well make single movies.
That's kind of what they're already doing. After Justice League, the studio put out a small statement-ish that they were going to focus solely on single movies for a while because they can't do the team-up stuff.
Yeah, well.
Now you're saying once Shazam succeeds, because you did say you wanted to speak it into existence on the last one that we did about DC. So once that succeeds, you think they'll be comfortable with going back to the team-ups after just 2 films?
Yes. Because Shazam doesn't have to do $1 billion. Shazam doesn't have to do $900 million. Shazam needs to do in between anywhere from $575 to $750. It needs to do that much. Because Shazam is an important character, but he's not
really.
He's not Batman. He's not Superman. He's not Wonder Woman. He's not Aquaman. I think it will set some ground foundation if Shazam does good. It'll put confidence back in the shareholders. It'll put confidence back in the directors. And it will put a lot of confidence in the most important spot, the fucking actors.
I mean, Jason Momoa is doing a great job of
He
letting
loves
people
his-
know that
he loves
there's
his
nothing
fucking life.
wrong with DC.
He loves his fucking life, dude. That is the definition of speaking it into existence. Like, I'll say it again, like I said it before. I know I've said it 20 times already on this podcast. Shazam does good. They need to go and talk to Ben Affleck. They need to do everything they fucking can to keep him. Because I'm telling you right now, even if Shazam does good and they don't have Batman, Ben Affleck, you might as well not worry about Batman and Superman for a while.
Now, you've said this before as well, but I'm going to frame it as a question before I get to my point. Do you know who's been involved in every single project on the DCEU, no matter how small the role? He's gotten credit in every single movie. Zack Snyder. Probably won't get one in Shazam.
Probably
He
not.
got one in Aquaman. I think it was like it wasn't like a producer credit. It was like some sort of idea man credit, basically.
Well,
I think he got a producer
I know
credit,
for a fact.
but he probably had like a little bit of say, just based on what he did prior.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think James Wan came to him for some advice. Not the whole thing, because...
That's clearly James Wan's idea.
Absolutely. I think he came to him for a couple different things, because James Wan even made the fight scenes seamless. Almost like they're not even underwater. Now, with Zack Snyder, he clearly showed the force of the water being an issue fighting.
Yeah.
He showed that talking underwater is only
Not
possible
possible.
in a bubble. He didn't think hard enough. And that's why I'm disappointed in Zack Snyder, because he should have. The kind of quality that he's put into Batman and Superman, the subtleties in the Batman versus Superman movie with all the little things, when Bruce was working on those grenades, and he had little things all over the place. He had symbols on the gas can grenades and on the table, and then he threw the grenade and Superman couldn't see him. Dude, it was a lead-lined fucking grenade. Superman can't see through lead. Why are you bringing that kind of intelligence and overthinking to that, but you can't tell me you couldn't have found a way to talk underwater without being in a bubble?
Very disappointing.
Very disappointing. I was disappointed in him.
Do you think
but
he
I
should
can't
still
blame him.
remain on the staff, on the team?
Absolutely. He's got a vision. He's got a great vision. For everything he's done, I'm not going to blame him for one fuck up. Aquaman's a tough gig. James Wan did it, though. But Zack Snyder, he wasn't the guy for that. He was definitely the guy for Superman and Batman, but Aquaman, no.
Even though a lot of people shit on the guy for his dark take on the heroes.
I think it would have been a great thing, because DC is a dark universe. DC is blood. It's gore. It's violence. These superheroes...
Real life.
Exactly. These superheroes are the ones there to fix it. There was a crossover between DC and Marvel, and the DC universe was so disappointed in the Marvel universe because there was more violence and crime caused by the Marvel universe than there actually was.
What do you mean?
So, like...
You didn't really explain that well, to be honest.
So the Avengers, let's say, I don't remember who met who, but let's say the main Justice League met the Avengers, right? The Justice League was so upset with the Avengers because the Avengers caused more pain and suffering than they did help.
Ah.
So,
Well, some say that's what Superman did in Man of Steel, and that's why Zack Snyder's a hack. That's that argument.
could be. I mean, it could have been, but this was The Dark Knight. This wasn't Batman. So let's not forget about that. I want everyone to know that's listening, the portrayal that Zack Snyder had a vision for, because I had a feeling I have a feeling that he thought he wasn't going to be on after this, and he was right. He probably thought, once he made these movies too, that he was going to be Kevin Feige. He was going to be the man. He thought he was going to be DC's Kevin Feige, or Feige, or whatever his name is. But that's not how it turned out. You know, he had a lot of personal issues. His daughter committed suicide. I'm not blaming the man. He still gave us quality product. I'd pay to see it again. You know, he probably wasn't thinking as good as he should have. But, like I said, back to what I was saying, this portrayal of Batman was the Dark Knight. If anyone doesn't know what the Dark Knight is, okay, he was a very old, bitter monster, pretty much.
He was tired.
He was just fucking over it, dude. He didn't give a shit. He started using guns. He didn't care. He was tired of fighting. And when he did start to fight, boy, he fought. You know?
That shit was brutal. That's a great comic.
What did he say? He said,
"You don't get it, boy. This isn't a mud pit. This is an operating table. And I'm the surgeon."
Fucked him up. So this was the portrayal of the Dark Knight. And the Dark Knight's a very old, upset, and just over it all. And he was, you know, it's kind of like being a young man versus an old man. Young man, you're going to fight. Old man, I'm going to just shoot you. As simple as that.
Last question. You said if Aquaman did well, and it certainly has, $1 billion, Kevin Feige wouldn't leave Marvel. Do you still believe that?
Has he left yet?
Is he going to? Because
He's
he
supposed
wasn't.
to leave already.
I thought he was supposed to leave. I thought it was like February.
No, he was supposed to have left already. He ain't leaving.
So you don't think he's gone?
No, he's not going to. He's scared.
I'm not really looking forward to Shazam. I hope it does well.
I hope it does too, but it most likely won't. So.
You giving us finger guns to sign off?